Hey guys, welcome back to my Food Network Millie is Fruitful. I'm Millie, your Minister of Health, and here is where I will teach you how to heal through food. I will teach you how to eat to give your body the best conditions to heal itself, which foods to steer clear from, the healing properties of different foods, and how to select clean ingredients so that you can heal. And we will also get into some fun. We will cook some delicious and nutritious meals, and along the way we'll go to some farmers markets, some farms, and the grocery store so that we can select the most nutrient dense foods and show our local farmers some support along the way. Now let's get into today's video. Today we will be discussing the anti-inflammatory diet and why the anti-inflammatory diet is the best disease prevention and weight loss diet around. And after we discuss, we will head over to the kitchen to make a delicious anti-inflammatory meal. So let's begin. But before we dive in, I want to cover some foundational information about inflammation, just to give us, something to work with before we get into the good stuff. So inflammation gets a bad rap, but it's the body's natural process and response to help your body fight off injuries and infections. And short-term inflammation can be a good thing, but long-term inflammation is what we want to be careful about. That's a whole other story. And when inflammation becomes chronic, that's when symptoms show up. And chronic inflammation increases the risk of chronic illnesses, including like heart disease, cancer, diabetes, obesity, Alzheimer's, and depression. But most common signs of inflammation is bodily pain, fatigue, trouble sleeping, depression, anxiety, digestive problems like diarrhea, constipation, and acid reflux, and frequent infections, weight gain, or weight loss. Many things can cause this, all these symptoms like poor diet, stress, infections, autoimmune diseases, chronic illnesses, toxin exposure, lack of sleep, hormone imbalance, sedentary lifestyle, meaning you don't get much movement throughout the day. You have a sitting job where you just, don't move around too much. Obesity can cause this. Alcohol intake, smoking can cause this as well. But by God's grace, there's a lot you can do to lower your inflammation. And all it takes is some simple tweaks to your diet and lifestyle. And I will be teaching you the best foods and the best lifestyle habits to tame inflammation, to get the energy of your youth back, and to reverse and prevent chronic illnesses and lose weight. Many people have been feeling this pull from God to eat healthier. So just by being here and leaning in to getting the proper education, you're already making the proper steps to turn the state of your health around. So I just want to congratulate you for taking this leap of faith. And I will do my best to give you the tools you need so that you can turn the state of your health around. Well, to begin, on the anti-inflammatory diet, you want to make sure to avoid certain foods and eat a certain different type of food. So let's start by discussing the foods you want to avoid. You want to avoid processed foods, refined carbs, like white bread, white rice, sweets, that kind of things. You want to avoid fried foods. You want to avoid foods with added sugar or high fructose corn syrup. You want to avoid vegetable oils, foods with trans fats, processed meats, large intake of red meats. You want to avoid soda and other sugar-sweetened drinks. And you want to avoid alcohol because these things are inflammatory. And Even though that sounds very restrictive because there's so much processed foods everywhere, the goal here is to eat real foods. And by real foods, I mean whole foods, non-processed foods or minimally processed foods like olive oil, fresh fruits, veggies, especially leafy greens, fatty fishes like salmon, sardines, mackerel, nuts, seeds, avocados, green tea, turmeric, red wine, dark chocolate, antioxidant rich spices like turmeric, cinnamon, and garlic. And to take this a step further, I want you to enjoy these foods in moderation, meaning some foods you should be enjoying more than others. And I will be pulling, this framework from a book, one of my favorite books. It is called Let Food Be Your Medicine: Dietary Changes Proven to Prevent or Reverse Disease by Dr. Don Colbert. The anti-inflammatory diet is a very well-known diet, but Dr. Don Colbert has a framework that is very specific about portion control and what foods you should be eating more of out of these whole foods, and which foods you should be eating more of in moderation, so that we can keep your inflammatory levels low, so that you can begin to heal instead of constantly turning on that, that chronic inflammation signal that keeps your body in stress, and which eventually turns into disease. So let's go ahead and get into this. Okay, guys, we are on page 61 of this book, Let Food Be Your Medicine, which discusses how to heal through food by giving a good recommendation of dietary changes to reverse and prevent illnesses. And this specific portion of the book discusses how to prevent and reverse illnesses, but specifically it's good for weight loss and disease prevention. Because in other parts of the book, there are certain foods that you need to stay away from. Let's say if somebody has a cardiovascular illness, or if somebody has an autoimmune disease or cancer. So this is more so for prevention and weight loss. So how this diet works is that, first of all, changing your diet to a whole foods diet is a big win, and you'll see much improvement. But to take it a step further, we're going to get into how much of these different food groups we should be eating. And how this diet works is at level, there are different levels. There's level 7, which means that levels 1 through 7, meaning that level 1 is what you should be eating the most out of all these different food groups. It's like a pyramid. So more of level 1 foods, and as we work all the way up to level 7 is what you want to eat the least of. Alrighty. So level 1 is fruits, vegetables, nuts, beans, and other legumes. And, you can do salads that consist of green leafy vegetables. So all your produce and plant-based items like fruits and vegetables, nuts, seeds, you should be eating the most of. That should be the bulk of your diet. And level 2, you can do steel-cut oats and quinoa, millet bread, brown rice, sweet potatoes, and those kinds of things. So you can you can eat that a little bit less than the fruits and vegetables, nuts and seeds, and those kinds of things. And he mentions here that if you are not gluten sensitive, trying to lose weight, or suffering from high blood pressure, diabetes, high cholesterol, or another anti-inflammatory disease, then you can eat potatoes, sprouted bread like Ezekiel 4:9 bread, or fermented bread and sourdough bread in moderation, like 4 days a week. Level 3, we're talking about fats here. So you want to use anti-inflammatory fats like olive oil instead of other oils, including butter, margarine, because those are saturated fats and those are more inflammatory. Beyond popular belief, they are inflammatory, unfortunately. And next, you want to if you want to intake some cheese and yogurt and dairy, you should try it in small amounts and lean more towards Parmesan cheese. And try to have it maybe like every 4 days. That's what he's recommending. And for fish, you want to eat fish more than other meats in about 4 to 6 ounce portions several times of a week. So fish should be your main source of animal protein because it has so many anti-inflammatory benefits and it's low in saturated fats. Level 6 is chicken, turkey, and eggs. And chicken, he mentions to eat 3 to 6 ounce portions a few times a week, and it should be skinless. And for eggs, you want to do 2 to 6 eggs per week, and he recommends 1 yolk to 3 egg white ratio. And last but not least, red meat should be in the form of beef, veal, pork, sheep, lamb, goat. And this should be eaten in 3 to 6 ounce portions twice a week or just a few times a month. And this red meat is level 7, meaning that you should eat it the least out of all of the other foods. So the bulk of your diet should be fruits, vegetables, nuts, seeds, and fats, olive oil, whole grains. You can have anti-inflammatory carbs, like sweet potatoes, brown rice, that kind of stuff, all depending on the state of your health. Like if you have any blood sugar issues, high blood pressure, or high cholesterol, then you should stay away from things that are sugar or that turn into sugar once they enter your body. So just be mindful of that. And this book is a great read and honestly a breath of fresh air because we live in a world full of strings and gimmicks and fad diets and often false advertisements. And in this book, I definitely recommend that you read it, even though I gave you a good framework from it to follow if you want to dive into the anti-inflammatory diet, because Dr. Don Colbert, who wrote this book, gave his testimony on how God led him to go on this journey, and he taught him how to heal through food because he was experiencing some severe psoriasis that he really wanted to take care of. He then took the knowledge from this book and now currently helps and has helped many of his patients heal through food. I'm talking about cardiovascular illnesses, diabetes, autoimmune diseases, cancer, autism, mental health illnesses, neurological disorders, and many more conditions that are all able to be healed through food. In coming videos, I will be going over how to take this diet a step further to heal cardiovascular illnesses, autism, ADHD, cancer, and all of those conditions that I mentioned before. And I'll also give you foods that are good to eat for certain illnesses because of the healing properties they contain. And I highly recommend this because for many people that are going through different health conditions, this is a good, pick-me-up if you are going through some very low moments, because there are many testimonies of his patients and their healing stories, and they're just so inspiring and a great source of encouragement, for those if you are going through certain health issues or just want to get rid of that brain fog or depression and believe that you can do it through food. So if you're running out of hope and need that extra boost, pick up this book. I'm not affiliated with Dr. Don Colbert in any way, but I love his work and the integrity of his practice. So if you're interested, click on the link on the screen or in description to purchase this book. So yes, that is the anti-inflammatory diet, which I also like to call the real food diet, because there is so many, ultra processed foods in the world today, and most people are eating fake food with little to no nutritional value. So altogether, this is the best way to heal and stop what is inflaming your body and causing disease to thrive in your body, or causing inflammation in your unique body, because some people can follow a strict anti-inflammatory diet, but they may be allergic to certain foods, which may end up inflaming their body. So I recommend that if you participate in this anti-inflammatory diet, you also get an allergy or food sensitivity test done to see if you're allergic to anything. And some people are seeing such great results from this diet, health-wise, from just cutting out gluten or dairy, common allergens. So make sure that throughout this journey, you're really paying attention to your body and seeing what your body is telling you. You can start by implementing this diet at your own pace, but people have been seeing such great results that it's causing them to have a hard time going back to the foods that have kept them sick for so long. And I just want to mention that according to Leviticus 17, verse 11, that the life of the flesh is in the blood, which is very true, because in our bodies, the blood has a very important job, and has many jobs. But in regards to food, after we eat, the nutrients we eat enter our bloodstream, and the blood carries these nutrients to different parts of our bodies. So today, I want you to just consider that every time you put something in your mouth, take a look at your food and ask yourself what nutritional value this will bring to your body. Will this hurt you, or will this heal you? So just do that, and I hope that you decide to eat for a clear mind and a strong body, so that you can better serve the Lord and fulfill your calling with your best foot forward. And this just means eat real food. Eat real food, our bodies are a temple to the Lord. So take care of yourself. You matter. You really do matter. And this diet is best paired with other good lifestyle habits, like 12 to 14 hours of daily fasting, exercise, lots of water, like a gallon a day, get lots of rest, trust in God, get lots of sunlight as much as you can, and eat in moderation, and get plenty of fresh air. All of these will contribute to great health. And for those that need more assistance through nutrition, and if you need closer assessment, I offer consulting services to help give you the proper support you need to heal through food. So click my Calendly link in the description to schedule some time on my calendar. All right, guys, that's some good foundational information. We covered a lot, just to give you, a good idea of what foods to eat or what foods to stay away from that will get you started on a great path to healing through foods. So we're going to head over to the kitchen to create a lovely, nutritious, and delicious meal. We will be making a pan-seared pompano fish with a fresh cucumber salad. So let's get into it, and I will see you in the kitchen. Alright guys, we're here in the kitchen getting ready to make a delicious meal. This meal is anti-inflammatory, healthy, and it's something that you and your family can enjoy for dinner, for lunch, or any time of the day. Here we have a pompano fish This is a great fish, so if you haven't tried this already, I highly recommend that you give it a try. If you're a salmon lover, branzini lover, mackerel lover, you just tend to stick to your typical fishes, give this fish a try. We also will be working today with some Thai chilies. Let me give this camera a good look. Some Thai chilies. We have some garlic. We have some lemongrass. We have some rosemary, my favorite. We have some thyme. We have some dill. We have cucumber, ginger, organic ginger, so it's very hot. We have red onion and some cilantro, and we also have some extra virgin olive oil. We have black pepper, and we have some salt, sea salt. Without further ado, let's go ahead and begin. So first, let's get into the marinade. I'm just gonna make this like a herby pompano fish. So I'm going to just give this cilantro a rough chop. It doesn't have to be perfect, but we just want it to be small enough so that when we add it to the fish, it can stick. Next, we're just going to cut up a bit of lemongrass. I'm just kind of eyeballing all these ingredients, so if you don't want as much, then alter it to your preference. Of course, salt to taste as well. And if you don't want your food as spicy, then you can reduce your chilies, or you can take them out of the recipe completely. I'm just gonna take some of this rosemary, add it to the pile. What I love about this recipe is that it's super easy and it's not intimidating, because sometimes cooking can be a little intimidating, but once you decide that you want to eat healthier and you just give yourself a good boost of encouragement and tell yourself you're going to be disciplined about this lifestyle change, you will find yourself becoming a master chef and realize that there was nothing to be afraid of. And I'm going to be heavy-handed with this thyme, because one thing about fish is that thyme is amazing. Thyme goes great with fish. And I'm going to add some dill as well. So I'm just using my fingers to break this apart. Bit more dill. The herbier, the better. Next, I'm going to roughly chop my garlic. Smash it a little bit. all getting combined and getting rubbed on this fish. And now I'm just gonna take all of these wonderful ingredients and add it to a bowl. And take some of this extra virgin olive oil. And also some of this salt. Oh, I first want to score my fish. I'm going to do it in both directions. All right, and now I'm just going to salt my fish, and you can salt to taste, but if you have high blood pressure, I would go lighter on the salt because salt is something that can worsen high blood pressure, and we want to heal through food, not hinder ourselves through food. So alright guys, now that we have finished salting our fish and chopping and combining our herbs, we're going to go ahead and just kind of mix these herbs around with the olive oil. And then I'm going to take this pompano fish and just rub it around. Rub it around in the olive oil and herb mixture. It doesn't have to be perfect, remember. You don't have to be a top chef to do this. This is just something fun and delicious that you can have as you are on your healing journey, or if you just simply love to lead a healthy lifestyle and enjoy your food. Okay. And now that I gently massaged the pompano, I'm just gonna take the rest of this herb mixture and stuff the fish. The fish is nice and stuffed. Alright guys, now that we have massaged and stuffed our fish with the herb mixture, I went ahead and turned my fire to a medium heat, and I'm gonna go in with some olive oil. Like I said, this is an anti-inflammatory oil, and this extra virgin olive oil is very healthy for you, so you don't have to be afraid of using it if you have high cholesterol. I'm just gonna put on some black pepper I just realized I almost forgot to include it. This is gonna be great. And even though we're just doing the pompano and cucumber salad, if you'd like to include some carbs, you can go in with some potatoes, some brown rice, or some sweet potatoes, or squash, whatever you prefer. I'm gonna let you decide, but I'm gonna eat mine just like this. Okay, fire is ready. So I'm just gonna take the fish and I'm just going to add it on straight away, just like that. And put some pressure on it. And remember to clean as you cook so that afterwards you don't have much to do. We're going to go ahead and let this here for maybe about 4 to 5 minutes, depending on how you like your fish cooked. I like mine a little underdone so it can kind of have that buttery, soft texture. But if you like yours more well done, by all means, keep it on there a bit longer. But periodically, you can just go ahead and take a peek under your fish to see how the sear is looking. So far, so good. So you're just gonna let that do its thing. While our fish cooks, we can just prep our cucumber salad. And I'm just gonna start with my onions. I'm going to just slice them like this. And then with our cucumbers, we can just cut the ends off and also take some of the excess off of the onions. Back to our cucumbers. I'm just going to take the cucumbers and just slice them thinly. Or if you want them thicker, by all means, go for it. Okay, it's just about time to flip. I'm going to let that go for just a little bit more. Like I said, you want to take a peek every few minutes. Let those get away. Now that we have everything all sliced and chopped, I'm just going to put this into a bowl. I'm going to give this another look. Okay, now that's more like it. And this ginger can go right into our salad. I think I'm going to add a little bit of apple cider vinegar, just a touch, to give it a bit of moisture and a little sweetness. Now I'm going to grab some dill, some more dill. I'm just going to add a little bit of dill to this salad as well, because I just love herbs, these flavors. The salad's going to be really fresh. I'm just going to check this fish again. Okay, it seems to be done, so I'm just going to turn the fire off and let it rest. But with my hands, I'm just going to mix up this salad. And our salad looks just about done. But I just want to give this fish a good look. Yep. Looking really, really good. Alrighty guys, we have finished doing everything we said we'd do today. We learned, we cooked, and we enjoyed. We've prepared a lovely pompano fish and our cucumber salad. I hope that you enjoy this meal, you enjoy it with your loved ones, so that you can encourage them to also eat healthy, so that we can all heal through food to keep sickness away, so we can retain high energy or regain our high energy. So thank you guys for joining me today, and I want you guys to stay fruitful, stay faithful, and stay informed. I will see you guys in our next episode. You have a lovely, beautiful day, week, year, whatever it is. Stay fruitful.